And we are was doing it now. Doing it. Bam, there we go. There we go. We are live. All right, y'all. We are back. We are back, y'all. We about to continue reading the book of Ecclesiastes. What was that? Monday on Monday we finished what? Chapter 4 and 5. One, two, three, 4 and 5 actually. 3, 4 and 5. And the important parts of it was that with time. We saw that with time. That was a big thing. How we manage our time, how things change over time, and what we need to do with our time. What's the time important that we have on certain, not matters in our life, and how we could be restless on a lot of things and a lot of aspects of life by just overworking ourselves over that. I think uh, we probably all got a testimony for that, overworking ourselves with that. But we're gonna go on ahead and continue with. Anybody got anything to say on that before I start? Because if not, I'll just get right into it. All right, cool. Let me just get right into it. And so we're gonna read from like I said, chapter 6, chapter 7. I don't have my little reader here with me yet. She said she washing dishes. I get her to start reading when she come on. All right. So Ecclesiastes chapter 6. There's another serious tragedy I have seen under the sun, and it weighs heavy on humanity. God gives some people great wealth and honor and everything they could ever want, but then he doesn't give them a chance to enjoy these things. Oh man, let me read that again. Ecclesiastes verse 6, cha- uh, chapter 6, verse 2. God gives some people great wealth and honor and everything they could ever want, but then he doesn't give them the chance to enjoy these things. Why? That's a lot right there. You ever get everything that you want or whatnot, and you can't even enjoy it? And I think that's a double-edged sword. How it could happen, whether it be, i.e., your time, you know, your time management of the matter, or the time it takes to upkeep it. You know what I'm saying? When you're given a lot, is much required of you. Sometimes that takes away your time or whatnot. So the question is it always a good thing to always get everything you want versus the things you need? Not saying you can't have some of the things that you want, but is it always a good thing to get everything you want? Because you'll find yourself, tied to it and busy with it. Verse
So
3.
once you get it, you don't utilize it. You don't want it no more because you got it. You know,
Yeah,
you don't do what you was intended on doing with it when you get it.
or you do for a limited time, but that goes back to what we were saying before. It's flesh, you know? It's flesh. That's what it is.
Mm-hmm.
It's a fleshly matter or not. That flesh crave things, crave so much, you crave so much. I.e., different from your spirit, your flesh. It wants, it wants, it wants.
Mm-hmm.
Physically, a good example would be, man, when you hungry, when you ain't had that Popeyes, or that brothers in a while. You can smell it sometimes, especially when you've been thinking about it. Don't it seem like it just seem like it'll taste better? Man, you done had the chicken 3,500 times.
Mm-hmm.
3,500 times, and you thinking that, oh man, it's so much better. Man, it's the same chicken you been eating, bro. The same chicken. Ain't no different. But it's that craving. That's what we want, what we want. And everything that we want isn't always good for us.
True.
All right, two. I'm gonna start from two again because it's just so much, and I wanted to sit down and God gives some people great wealth and honor and everything they could ever want, but then He doesn't give them a chance to enjoy these things. They die, and someone else, even a stranger, ends up enjoying their wealth.
Yeah.
This is meaningless, a sickening tragedy. You did all that hard work, right? You can't even enjoy it. Whether it be
Mm-hmm.
time constraints or whatnot, or you working so much to maintain them, then you did. Somebody will pick up the phone
Yep.
after all your hard work. Boy, ain't that cool?
Hmm.
Ain't that cool? Verse 3. A man might have 100 children and live to be very old, but if he finds no satisfaction in life and doesn't even get a decent burial, it would have been better for him to be born dead. Read that again. A man might have 100 children and live to be very old, but if he finds no satisfaction in life and doesn't even get a decent burial, it would have been better for him to be born dead. It just looked like we were saying in chapter 5 on the other day, y'all like, hey, satisfaction in work, enjoying what you do. That's how you. That's the key to enjoying life. Man, get that satisfaction, you know, in what you do in your work or whatever that may be or whatnot, and not overextending yourself. You'll always be satisfied because it's a balance. It's always a balance. It's always a balance. Verse 4. His birth will have been meaningless, and he will have ended in darkness. He wouldn't even have had a name. Verse 5. And he would never have seen the sun or known of his existence. Yet he would have had more peace than in growing up to be an unhappy man. They talking about, hey man, this for this cat who had 100 kids and didn't get a decent burial or whatnot. Well, you better off not even existing, bro, because you're unhappy. And that's what I think people get it twisted that God don't want us to be happy. Like for instance, like when you go through things, of course, when you have trials and tribulations or whatnot, you get tested by the fire. Yeah, you're gonna have to go through it or whatnot, but ultimately, he wants you to be happy. Not a pat to that may be tough, but he wants you to be happy. Why wouldn't your daddy want you to be happy? Like why wouldn't he want you to be happy? He wants you to be happy, but he wants you to be happy in a way where it be long for you, you know, endurance of happiness, and just take his teachers amongst with it. I mean, I know my mom always wanted me to be happy. I know about y'all too, with y'all parents or whatnot, whatever that may be. So being happy, that's important to God. That's that we have a smile on our face. Verse 6, he might live 1,000 years twice over, but still not find contentment. And since he must die like everyone else, well, what's the use?
Hmm.
Read it again. He might live 1,000 years twice over, but still not find contentment. And since he must die like everyone else, well, what's the use? So this right here is like, bro, why be unhappy? Why? You could be around here all the time. Why would you want to be around so long and not be happy? A lot of people say, man, for my kids, I'm doing it for my kids. Hey, I'm doing it for them. They don't worry about me. Nah, you are important. Stop putting yourself aside. You gotta stop putting yourself aside. Now it may become time to season where yeah, the focus may be on the collective or not, but don't just toss yourself to the side. You're not even designed that way. God didn't design you that way. You can't do that. So take care of yourself. Include yourself in things. But when people have families or certain matters going on, that's the important part that comes. Hey, balance. How do we figure out the balance that we need? That's the important part. 7, all people spend their lives scratching for food, but they never seem to have enough. That's the chicken, huh?
Yeah,
Uh,
you know.
verse 8. So are wise people really better off than fools? Do poor people gain anything by being wise and knowing how to act in front of others? Oh my God. Read that again. Verse 8. So are wise people really better off than fools? Do poor people gain anything by being wise and knowing how to act in front of others? Verse 9. Enjoy what you have rather than desiring what you don't have. Just dreaming about nice things is meaningless, like chasing the wind. So you're like, wait, what you mean? I can't dream about nice things?
Hmm.
I'm like, wait. You say you gonna give me everything that my heart desires, you know? So it's like, man, wait, God, what are you saying? What are you saying? Wow. You're like, hey, see, just dreaming about nice things is meaningless. But you want me to have nice things. Don't focus so much just on just the nice thing. That's when it becomes meaningless. Because you'll find yourself just focused on that area, right? That one area, whatever's going on, where you dreaming or focus on or whatnot, and you find yourself slacking in other areas. That comes back to
Mm-hmm.
egos. You're unbalanced.
Mm-hmm.
You're unbalanced now. And I think even myself, I got to learn that. As I was reading, I'm like, ooh, I need to work on this more work on this balance. Like we were saying the other night, balance. You know,
Balance and time, huh?
yeah, balance time, yeah, balance and time. Have to work on it because when as I'm reading this and I'm looking at this, when we work on it or not, it's for you, not for God. He got it. It's for you. Trying to give us the jewels on how to go on ahead and manage the things that we have to manage. Verse 10. The future determined and unknown. Everything has already been decided. It was known long ago what each person would be. So there's no use arguing with God about your destiny.
Mm.
The more words you speak, the less they mean. So what good are they? In the few days of our meaningless lives, who knows how days can be best spent? Our lives are like a shadow. Who can tell what will happen on this earth after we are gone? We are here for a brief second.
Yeah.
We are here for a brief second. And I'm gonna read it in the King James version. Let me say who on here knew. Sierra. So Sierra, what I normally do is I read from the NLT and then I read from the King James version. But I have both of them posted up on my phone as I'm reading, just for context and so people can understand what they're saying. Sometimes what they to show that it's all correlating with each other. And so in the King James version, verse 10 said, that which had been is named already, and is known that it is man. Neither may he contend with him that is mightier than he. Verse 11, seeing there be many things that increase vanity, what is man the better? Verse 12, but who knoweth what is good for man in this life? All the days of his vain life, which he spendeth as a shadow. For who can tell a man what shall be after him under the sun? It's
Hmm.
like once we leave from here, you're not worrying about what's going on no earth. You ain't man, you are in rest. You is not worrying about what's going on. No concerns at all. None at all. None at all. None at all. Chapter 7. Wisdom for life. A good reputation is more valuable than costly perfume. And the day you die is better than the day you are born. Oh my God.
Hmm.
A prime example of that. You can have people you meet people just and that you go different places or whatnot. Man, if you got a good name, that holds so much weight. People gonna trust you more. They're gonna trust you more. They will give you a chance just from by other people's experiences. Not saying you perfect, but if you have a good name, and that good name goes a long way. Y'all could, people say, for instance, you have some people meet you or whatnot, they say you be like, yeah, man, I remember the Cam, Sierra, Alonda, just Sonya and Floyd. Like, yeah, when they were small, they been good. I been saw it in them. They been good since they were little. You 40 years later.
Mm-hmm. Well,
Look
that
at it.
goes to what I always told y'all, Terrell. If you don't have a word, you don't have nothing.
Yeah. But So you're right. So words, which words is life, right? It speaks life, right? But
Mm-hmm.
when when you have a good word, right? But then you stand behind that word, that's your reputation. Like, hey,
Mm-hmm.
they have a good word. So you ain't just talking a good game, but they standing behind it. That's a good reputation because people have experienced this and seen this, and they're like, man, you know what? Man, that dude all right. She all right. Oh, they good people. They good people. Like that go,
They'll be like, oh, she told you that, or she gonna do it. She gonna do. You ain't got to worry about it.
yeah,
She gonna do it.
yeah, yeah. So now you have so people are trusting you who don't even know you yet. Look at that.
Mm-hmm.
Listen to that, yo. People could trust you and they don't even know you. They don't even know you, but they trust you. Most of the time, you gotta know somebody in order to trust them. So the caveat to that, the bridge to that is a good reputation. It may not be a full blown all trust, but some you have a good reputation, people will give you a shot, whether it be for a job, uh, some type of business deal, or whatever matters you have going on. Let 4 or 5 people vouch for you. That goes a long way. They can vouch for you, and and let's say you don't even have what you need to have, but they know they're gonna give you a shot,
And
and you'll get
I tell you another way. Like if you recommend a person, because you say me, I'm a good nurse. Everybody I worked under worked over always have something good to say about me. So
yeah,
bam,
yeah,
I run across somebody and they need a job and they like, you know somewhere I could go, and I'll tell them, well, hey, go to Texas Children, ask for so and so and tell them Yolanda sent you.
yeah,
And you know that person get there and they do what I tell them, and then that the supervisor say, oh yeah, that was a good worker. So they hire
yes,
you on the strength that I was a good worker. So they think because I was a good worker, you probably a good worker. So you
yeah,
getting the
yeah,
job.
yeah. It passes down. It pass.
Mm-hmm.
It passes down. It passes down. They can know
Yeah.
you. People cannot know you from Adam or Eve. You have that good reputation. That goes far. Like people say, man, my name is more valuable than anything. Please
Mm-hmm.
don't speak ill of me. Or at least I try not to let people, try to do anything intentionally. Where it's like, oh man, I'm name ain't nothing.
Mm-hmm.
What's that saying? Saying your word ain't ish.
You right.
Your word isn't nothing. Let me
It
read that
is.
again for the people who just came in. Ecclesiastes verse 7. No, chapter 7, verse 1, it says, a good reputation is more valuable than costly perfume. And the day that you die is better than the day you are born. So you mean to tell me I could walk in a spot, I could walk in somewhere, and I'm not as fly as you, right? But it said more valuable than costly perfume. And you up and down, you smelling all good, you looking good, you coming through. I got more value than you. And I don't even have the amount of stuff you have on. I don't even look as good as you, but my reputation did. So so with that perfume and all that, that ties back into deception. When you got on, it smell good and all this, everything together and tight, it appears to be good, right?
Mm-hmm.
Exactly what the enemy does. It appears to be good. You're like, yeah, 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 cool, cool, cool. But the person who doesn't have on that, right? But they had a good reputation. If you're not seeing it, you're not wise. You're gonna choose the person with the perfume. A prime example
Yeah.
would be like when you go to a car dealership. Oh, this happens all the time. Oh my God,
Oh, they
I
the
did this.
worst. They the
Oh
worst.
man, I love you. The next example, and I enjoy doing me. Go to the dealership overnight. I'm going. I'm going to put on a old raggedy Dickie suit, some holy socks on, my favorite little holy socks or whatever, with the backside cut over. My according to me all the time, Jerusalem, I'm keeping my socks. So but anyway, going to the dealership, and they walk right past. Man, they ain't buying nothing. They ain't doing nothing. Man, lo and behold, the person who got the eyesight, they say, "Hey, how you doing, sir? This and that. How can I help you? Hey, man, let me get that car right there." All because their perception was that, hey, he wasn't gonna do that. But it'll be a lot of times the dude come in there who look real good, or the female come in there look real good, all dressed up and all that. They not ready to buy. They had to waste your time. Waste your time. And they said, we're gonna tell you, in the day that you die is better than the day you're born, because you're gonna be in the presence of Christ. You're gonna be at ease. You know, when I see that in that verse, it's like, hey, the day that you die is better than the day you are born. You don't have no more stress, trouble, no more problems. You are in rest. You know, you are literally in rest. And so that hit a little deep, like, man, this is better. Get up out of here. So the people who made it before, man, they enjoying it. Rather they believe, they lay it up. Great times. Verse 2. Better to spend your time at funerals. Oh, this is gonna be powerful, y'all. Better to spend your time at funerals than at parties. After all, everyone dies. So the living should take this to heart. Sorrow is better than laughter. Wait, hold on. What you mean sorrow is better than laughter? Watch it. For sadness has a refining influence on us. Mm, that's that pain, y'all. You remember
Mm-hmm.
that. You remember that pain. You're gonna remember that pain more than you're gonna remember that good time. People don't on that bad time more than that good time.
That's the truth, though. That's the
We
truth.
doing on that bad time more than that good time. You just be triggered. You could been went to Mardi Gras, did this and that. Yeah, that was fun. But think about that bad time when somebody did you something wrong or something happened that went south. Well, you gonna remember that way, way down the line. And not to say you're gonna reflect on it, but you're gonna remember it. It's that sorrow from it, the effects of it. I think that when we get affected by something, and maybe one of y'all, somebody else could give me their viewpoint on this. When you are affected by something that's bad, right? It lingers more than the happiness.
Mm-hmm.
It lingers more than the happiness. Because you always chasing that happiness. You're like, man, let me the next happy, whatever that may be. That sorrow, that pain, like you ain't trying to fool with that.
You trying to run away from that? Keep that
Yeah.
away from you.
But when it come back up, wow. You're like,
Yeah.
oh man, oh my God, boy, you might dwell on it a little bit. Like, ooh, yeah, I remember that one. And you're not gonna forget that. You're not gonna forget that. You could be 7 years old. And if it affected you that much, and it happened when you was 20, ask about some of your favorite time at 20 years old. You probably ain't gonna remember it. Probably ain't gonna remember it. But like verse 3 says, sorrow is better than laughter. But sadness has a refining influence on us. And that refining is, hey, man, I don't want to experience that. I don't want to go through that anymore. So it's like sorrow is a teacher, a reminder, like ding dong, here you go. Look, remember this? So you like you say you're trying to disassociate yourself from that. 4, a wise person thinks a lot about death, while a fool thinks only about having a good time. Oh man. 4 again. A wise person thinks a lot about death, while a fool thinks only about having a good time. Because you're blinded. You're blinded by it. You're like, man, you're not cautious. You're off guard. You just willy nilly.
Mm-hmm.
You just out here
Mm-hmm.
knucking and bucking.
Yeah, buddy.
That's all you want to do. You chasing that. You chasing that. And too much of that will have you being a fool. He didn't say you can't have that. Too much of that. But if you look at it for say a wise person thinks a lot about that, while a fool thinks only. You see that? It say while a fool thinks only about having a good time. But when you see on above it, it says a wise person thinks a lot about that. So it's here, then it's not. Here, then it's not. Here, then it's not. While a fool thinks only, boy, I just want, boy, I'm gonna cut up whole time. That's all I want to do. Nothing else. Cut up, cut up, cut up. And And you see that, sometimes people be in cycles and lives or whatnot, but that happens. And a good time can be whatever your version of a good time is. It could just be watching TV in your house or whatnot. Too much, it goes back to balance. Too much of anything, bam, you're unbalanced. It's hindering you. It's slowing you down. Your borderline might make it into idol. Verse 5. Better to be criticized by a wise person than to be praised by a fool. But this the thing, yo. Sometimes we can't take being criticized by a wise person. You don't like that. That's when you know you grow. You grow. When you're able to take that criticism and you're like, okay, but I take my all this what it was and keep on moving. But then again, you double back and then you hear the ones who really ain't for you. You know what I'm saying? They shooting the sugar to you. And they're like, nah, man, go with the move. Yeah, that's the right way, this and that. And you know it's wrong. You know it's wrong. You're gonna be a whole crash dummy. It's gonna lead you down the wrong path.
Mhm.
But the question is, why is it hard for us to be criticized by a wise person? Why we don't want to take that? Like why we don't want to take that criticism? Because it don't feel good. Chastisement never feels good. You know. But in the King James it says, it is better to hear the rebuke of the wise than for a man to hear the song of fools. And them people praise you, man, going doing all that.
Mhm.
Multiple. And then in King James, they got fools on the S. So that's saying more than one.
Mhm.
They shooting that to you. You're like, oh man, oh my God. Verse 6. A fool laughter is quickly gone, like thrones crackling in the fire. This also is meaningless. Verse 7. Extortion turns wise people into fools, and bribes corrupt the heart. Let me read that again. Extortion turns wise people into fools, and bribes corrupt the heart. Man, when you're in that position of power with that, or when you what are in, or when you in a position with that, and you like, man, I'm gonna take this and flip it into something else. Not just saying money or business or whatnot. It could be having a up on a family matter or whatnot. You're like, I'm gonna take this and use it for my good or whatnot. Eventually, you become the fool. Eventually, you become the fool. And but look, that's how you become a fool. And then you look at the verse a little bit more and saying, bribe corrupt the heart. So you mean to tell me if I do extortion or whatnot, and I'm a wise person, I become foolish. But then when I go on ahead and take a bribe, it messes with my heart. Damn, double whammies. I'm foolish and now my heart corrupt. Man, you walking out here like a clown. And we do that. We do that. We do that. It's like, hey man, like, do you want to be foolish? Do you want to have a corrupt heart? That's why I always like to ask God, like, hey, show me what's in my heart. And sometimes I don't like. I'm like, damn, I thought I got over that. Nah, partner, you got a little bit more to go. A little bit more to go. So yeah, bribes and corrupt and being foolish. Verse 8, finishing is better than starting. Patience is better than pride. That's powerful. I read it in King James. Better is the end of a thing than the beginning. Therefore, and the patient in spirit is better than a proud in spirit. Now, I heard
Mhm.
this growing up. Hey, when you start something, finish it
Mhm.
because you get to see the whole result of it. Good, bad, in between, indifferent, but it's done.
Yeah.
It's done. Patience is better than pride. You win with patience. You got patience, you really out here winning.
But how
But
many of us have patience?
and look, that's what we got to work on. as a whole. I don't know about y'all. I know I got people tell me I got patience, but sometimes I'm not patient. Sometimes I am. I'm not patient with it, and just getting better at that, working on your patience. Because he's literally telling us the game of life. How you deal with all the situations that comes upon you in this time while you're on this earth. You start something, you finish it. Finish it. Certainly when it's something that's on your heart. When it gets tough, don't back up out of it. Don't run from it. Run to it. Now you might gotta slow down. The pace may have to slow down, but finish it. That's why I hope that on Cam so much. Can't finish. You don't you just run a track. Now you gonna finish. Ain't nothing. Just what we doing. This what we doing. No, no, nah, bro. Because they're showing you like, hey man, let me start something and finish something. And I know everybody else probably did that with their kids too. And later on they see that, hey man, that's valuable to them. It's very, very valuable. When you do something though, seeing the whole process. You see from the beginning, oh, when you're not good, and then when you end up good, and then you complete whatever the task may be. And sports and band and all that stuff is a prime example of that. A prime example of that. Because it's a sense, because you one, if you think about it, when you finishing something, you're actually being patient. Think about that. Listen to that. When you're finishing something, you're being patient. Because if you wasn't patient, you wouldn't have finished it. That's man. That's what
That's
a double whammy
wild.
right there. Yeah. When you
Hmm.
finishing something, you're being patient.
Damn,
Versus not.
that was spot on right there.
Yeah, 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 bro.
I ain't think about that.
Yeah.
Yep.
Verse 9. Control your temper, for anger labors you a fool. That goes back to verse 8. Oh, being patient. You could be mad and patient, right? Like chill or whatnot, right? And you raging that you like, bro, I'm about to now I'm ready. Now I'm with it. I'm with all that. But if they don't see it or whatnot, they'll never know. They be like, man, this not affecting me. What I was trying to pull off is not working. Lo and behold, they don't even know it deep down inside. You ready to crash out. But on to God, right?
Hmm.
You ready to crash out. Like when you able to be patient, that's powerful. Eight and nine is that when you are able to finish something. Well, when you are able to finish something and be patient and control your temper, right? Like in that order, because that's how it drops in the verses 8 and 9. It's finish, be patient, and control your temper. Man, how many times have all of us been told our kids this? Are we seeing the results of us not being this and like, hey, bro, y'all don't want to do this? Yeah, you win this way. Like this is like a jewel for life. Like you win in this matter. Because on now, like I said, you ain't gonna be labeled a fool, man. That dude crazy, man. He tripping. And the only time you label someone a fool is when they crashing out, when they angry. Most of the time, unless you one of your partners or your homegirl talking crazy, you're like, man, they tripping. On some funny stuff. But besides that, along those lines, only time you label someone a fool, foolish, is when they are acting out, and most of the time they angry. Man, she done bust all that man car, all his windows, X, Y, and Z, this and that. He done went to the job, her job, and they're like, man, he foolish. If he
Hmm.
was calm, he probably wouldn't have did that, or she wouldn't have did that. It's a great chance, not 99% chance they wouldn't have if they were calm. So control your temper. They say controls it, but how we control it? How do we control it when we, ready to flash out?
Hmm.
You sit there. You sit there. You take them stuff. You fall back. And I like to say, I be like, man, and I mean, I don't say it all the time. The truth be told, like, man, I get mad. I'm like, oof. I could get mad. And it seemed like the older I got, the more I see, I was like, oh Lord, I don't even like it at that. I didn't even know it was in me like that. But I try to learn to control it, you know, because I'm like, man, this is not good. This don't look good. Even though at that moment I feel like I'm right at arms, I'm right about it. Yeah, control your temper. Control our temper. Verse 10. Don't long, oh, this is gonna be powerful. Don't long for the good old days. This is not wise. Let me say it again. Don't long for the good old days. This is not wise. Verse 11. Wisdom is even better when you have money. Both are a benefit as you go through life. 12. Wisdom and money can get you almost anything, but only wisdom can save your life. Man, most people, like in verse 10, most people, it didn't say don't remember. Now you have God gave you memory, so you're gonna memorize things, you know what I'm saying? But when you long for it, like, man, I just wish things we just seen that in chapter 5, well, 5 and 6, that hey, it's a time for everything. Things change, even with the politics and all, he said, hey, it changes, it changes, it changes. You can remember it, but don't long for it. It's not coming back. And then and you notice it said, don't long for the good old days. It didn't say the bad days. Nobody want part of that. You want the good days. That's not wise. So what that means is you'll fall back in your ways and you wouldn't be progressive in what you have going on. You'll be wherever you was at in life, you'll be right back at that moment. And if you did what you was doing when you was 21 and you 40 right now, or even older than that, you don't want to do what you did when you was 21. People say they're not, man, they don't, heck no, they're not trying to do what they want to do when they was 21. I remember it, but I'm not gonna lie, I don't want that. But they have some people who do. They have some, they try to live out that again. And it's not wise. Keyword it says it's not wise. It didn't even say you're a fool.
Hmm.
It didn't even say you're a fool. It said it's just not wise. 11. Wisdom is even better when you have money. Both are a benefit as you go through life. So ain't nothing wrong with having some money. And it does have a benefit. Wisdom and verse 12, wisdom and money can get you almost anything. Wisdom and money. I.e., hey, handling it right, doing your math, like hey, taking wise counsel with it. But the one that stuck out, it says, but only wisdom can save your life. People, money can't save everything. You got to be wise in certain matters. That goes back to verse. That remind me of verse. What is that? Where is that? Wait. Verse 4. It said, "Why a person thinks about a lot about debt, and the fool, while a fool thinks only about having a good time."
Mm-hmm.
That's not wise. 13. Accept the way God does things, but who can straighten what He has made crooked? 14. Enjoy prosperity while you can, but when hard times strike, realize that both come from God. Remember that nothing is certain in this life. 14. So you're gonna have your seasons. That's what it's saying. You're gonna have your seasons. You're gonna have your seasons. And when you be up, a lot of times we tend to when we up, everything good. Well, you forget about God. That be he be he be all with the wind. He'd be like, he took, whatever the matter may be, you flourishing. Oh man, it's all good. God ain't no. Then a lot of time, man, you'll wind up turning into a fool. You know. But when the hammer come down, pow, the part two of life come down. When it's hard times or whatnot, that's when you're like, oh man, you shouldn't back with that. And this is the thing. This is the caveat to it. He will always accept you. He will always accept you, even when you do that. But but also this. cool. He gonna welcome you with open arms, but you're gonna learn the lesson. He will teach you. Now that's all upon you. If you won't be wise enough, how you gonna deal with the matters? Or sometimes it takes us to continue to go through it in order until we get it. I don't know about y'all. I don't like doing that. I try to get it one and be done. It don't happen all the time, but I try. So but yeah, but both come from God. They're just like good and evil. People be like, man, God's such a good God. Why he created evil? He created everything. He created everything, good and evil. Evil just being is the absence of something that's from God. The absence of something from God. That's all it is. It can't do that. You only got light and darkness. It can't do the light, so it got to do the darkness. That's all it is. That's why you think you see witches and stuff try to manipulate what God do, because they can't do it in the light. That's all it is. 15. The limits of human wisdom. I have seen everything in this meaningless life, including the death of good young people and the long life of wicked people. Don't be sitting there a lot. Y'all be saying, man, say, bro, what? Man, why them old people, man, they living, man, they so evil, so evil. But like, man, they need to be up out of here. Me thinking, I didn't say it before. Thinking, I'm like, bro, this dude here ain't dead yet. This man done did a whole lot of stuff. Like, damn, I would think God would take him out before a young man of 22 died from a heart attack. 16. So don't be too good or too wise. Why? Destroy yourself. 16. So don't be too good or too wise. Why destroy yourself? Too much of anything, you would destroy yourself. You would. I.e. goes back to what we've been saying. What's that key word? Balance. 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 That's what it goes back to. Like we need to really work on balance. Like if we could get that, man, things would be all right. They'll be all right. Verse 17. On the other hand, don't be too wicked either. Don't be a fool. Why die before your time? Oh, you see that? You see that? Let me read that again. On the other hand, don't be too wicked either. Don't be a fool. Why die before your time? What's that Bible verse? The wages of sin is what? Death.
Mm.
The wages of sin is death. That's what he's saying. 18. Pay, att- pay attention to these instructions. For anyone who fears God will avoid both extremes. 18. Pay attention to these instructions. For anyone who fears God will avoid both extremes. You'll balance yourself. You'll balance yourself, y'all. I don't know about y'all. I be trying to balance myself every day. Be trying to balance yourself, man? Anybody else be trying to balance yourself?
Man, you know I do. You know I be trying.
Lady, be trying to balance yourself? Mhm. So,
Let me
like,
see if I do that. Yeah, I
uh,
guess I do. I guess I do. Mhm.
yeah, balance, balance. 18,
Yeah.
pay attention. Go ahead, I'm sorry.
No, I was just gonna say it because when your children go through things, you go through something too.
Mm-hmm,
Like the Cleo being here cutting up and he can't tell me what it is, what's hurting him.
mm-hmm,
So to keep my hands from hurting him, like some people do children that can't talk. See, I'm like, well, I can't do this because I'm going to jail if I do that.
mm-hmm.
So I guess I keep myself balanced with it. I'm not gonna hurt him. I'm gonna try
Yeah.
to help him, but I'm not gonna hurt him. But they got some
Mm,
people. Some people living in a household, or either with an older person, with their parents,
yeah.
and they hurt them instead of
Mm-hmm.
balancing it. That you hurt them.
Mm,
But you got to you gotta stay balanced. You got to do it,
Yeah, yeah,
to keep from
yeah.
hurting the child, and then me being locked up somewhere.
That's not balanced.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
That's
And
not
then it
balanced,
be,
yo.
yeah, that's bad when that happens. But I keep you know I keep it balanced. I'm gonna say that I do that.
Seeing
And
like little
then
things like that, that's a good one.
hmm
That's good.
hmm
Like that's the
I do.
example of it. That's the example of it.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah. Just if you think about it, because sometimes I be in here, and before he even lost his sight, he would come up in my room and stuff and do things, and I could just put my hands around his throat and just choke him.
yeah, yeah.
See, but I said no, because I ain't gonna have my Cleo no more. That's my
Hmm.
baby.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Or just the things you got to think about. And then now he done lost his sight is different, but he's still in here doing things. Believe it or not, Cleo gonna be
yeah,
Cleo.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Can't hold them
he gonna
down.
be Cleo.
Can't hold them
Nope.
down.
Yeah, I just talked to I I talk to the Lord a lot now. I'm older now, so I talk to him a lot. But it's a lot of
Yeah.
stuff that I ask him to do for my kids.
Hmm. Hmm.
And Courtney's is really hers is just overflowing. Is Courtney on the line?
No, 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 no.
Oh,
She
okay, all right.
listen, no.
Well, I can say that. I can say she's overflowing. That cup is overflowing. But I love it though. I love it
Yeah,
because I know what it is to be a young person married, and she know what I mean. I
yeah,
love that. On her kids and her husband, I like that. That's
yeah,
good. So you do everybody beg for balance. I guess you could say that.
yeah, yeah. And
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I think that people sometimes we don't understand. We don't think we need balance because we think we got it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
We think
You
we don't need
Mm-hmm.
it.
you
Go
know
ahead.
what I think about as I'm
Mm-hmm.
listening to Mama and I'm listening to you. You talk about stay grounded, not self-righteous, not
Mm-hmm.
reckless. So you just gotta be
Right.
wise with everything around
Hmm.
you,
Right.
your situations, what
Right.
you're in, what you got going on with your
Mm-hmm.
kids. Like you saying, my like, you just gotta
Mm-hmm.
have wisdom for it, right? And then also be
Mm-hmm.
aware. You showing awareness around
Yep.
what you know,
Yep.
what to do and what not to do when it
Yeah,
comes to your
Right.
child. And
That's
that's just
right.
everybody's situation is totally
Mm-hmm.
different. But you gotta be
Right.
wise. You gotta have that wisdom. You gotta be aware of what's
Mm-hmm.
going on. And then you gotta stay aligned.
Mm-hmm.
Like you gotta be
Nah.
yeah,
aligned. If you out of
Nah.
line, you're not aligned, you're not trying to do the right thing, then you will
Mm-hmm.
lose it.
yeah,
So it's
Mm-hmm.
just finding
That's
that
right.
balance. You don't want to overdo either
That's
way.
right.
And that's
That's
we
right.
I'm sure
That's
as humans
right.
we all struggle with that. Right? We
yeah,
all struggle with that balance. Because you're
Mm-hmm.
trying to see what's right, what's wrong, what
Mm-hmm.
the choices you're making, right? Because we all have
Mm-hmm.
a choice. He
That's
gave us
right.
the freedom to
That's right.
choose.
yeah,
So
yeah.
just finding that balance is
Yep.
is a
That's what
is
they
a
want
good
you to
key.
do. Choose.
Yeah. Yep.
Right.
So,
Mm-hmm.
so I'm gonna
That's
pose a
it.
question right quick. So, okay, like just Sonya just said, being wise, right? So, for a person
Mm-hmm.
who doesn't know, right? How do they become wise? Which I think I got the answer for it, but what y'all think? How do you become wise if you don't know? You you know you trying to balance it.
Well,
Good of God.
you got to have the situation first. You got to have something, you know. Because when I was in school, why is I know not me. When I was in school, I'm talking junior high and high school. I didn't. I was always in trouble,
Yeah.
always. But then as I got older, yeah, I was always in the office. How you say
Yeah.
that, Paula Jones?
So I
You
guess
remind me of
I
that. But
guess
I'm saying,
right.
mm,
Go ahead, Mom. I'm
mm,
sorry.
mm. Yeah. But you were saying, you guess what?
I was saying I think it's seeking understanding. Like if you don't know, you gotta seek to
Mm-hmm.
understand. Like find
Yeah.
it,
Right.
look it up,
Yeah.
search it.
That's it.
But
Yep.
be have humility to do that. Like some people don't want to put the human side down or put the pride
Mm,
aside or the ego aside find or seek for wisdom or to learn how
Yep.
to
Yep.
do certain things, you know. And
Mhm.
sometimes we just learn from our own experiences, but is that the right thing, you know?
That's what that's what I'm saying. Experience. Yeah,
Yeah.
it do.
So I,
That,
I mean,
It
I ain't
do.
gonna lie, a lot of times I ask for God to give me wisdom because I don't know. I don't know
Yeah.
everything. Or show me
Mhm.
where to find it or
Mhm.
seek for it or bring
That's
somebody around me
right.
that can help me, you
yeah.
know. And then we gotta be coachable, you know. That's I don't it's a lot
Mhm.
around that
I'm
subject.
I'm glad I'm glad you said that. So I asked that question because I was gonna lay the foundation for the Bible verse. And so the question was how if one is not
Mhm.
wise, he's saying, hey, be wise and be balanced. How do we do that? And the key word that y'all said was one experience. Like lady, like you said, you're not
Mhm.
gonna know what to
Mhm.
do until you get in that situation, right? You
Mhm.
don't know or
Yep.
whatnot.
So
And
you
you
get
may
this right.
you
That's
you
right.
may
That's
you
right.
may
Made
sometimes because
mistakes. Made mistakes already.
and
Mhm.
because
I have.
because what we tend to do is we try to fix the matter first, then go to God versus. But the wise part is,
Mhm.
hey, like just only to
Mhm.
say, hey, let me ask first, ask him first to guide me and show me, then let me approach the situation and whatnot. That's the way you want to do it. But
Mhm.
I asked that question because this
Mhm.
Bible verse right here, it tells you Matthew 7 and 8. Y'all could go to it if y'all want to. It
Mhm.
says, ask and it will be given to you. And like we said, just only to say something important,
Yep.
that humility part. A lot of people don't want to ask.
Mhm.
They too prideful to ask or whatnot.
Yeah.
At times, it may take to get to a certain level
True.
in order for us to ask. It say, ask and it will be
Right.
given to you.
Mm-hmm.
Seek
Right.
and you will
Every day.
find.
Right.
Knock and it will be open to you.
Yes.
Verse 8,
Mhm.
for everyone who
He wants
asks,
you to find.
receive. But and he wants you to ask. For everyone who asks receives.
Yeah.
And he
That's
who
right.
seeks finds. And to
Mm-hmm.
him
Mhm.
who knocks, it will
Right.
be open. There
Mhm.
go your answer.
Yep. That's 7. Mhm.
Matthew 7, 7 and 8. So, like you're saying, that part of hey, that humility, acts. Don't be prideful. Don't be prideful. You know, acts.
Life would be
And
so much better.
yeah,
Mhm.
it would be. It would be. Let me read 18. Pay
Mhm.
attention to these instructions. For anyone who fears God will avoid both extremes.
Avoid both extremes.
Verse 19. One wise person is stronger than 10 leading citizens of a town. One wise person is stronger than 10 leading citizens of a town.
Hmm.
And King James it says, wisdom strengthens the wise more than 10 mighty men which are in the city. Wisdom does. Wisdom does. You're not
Mhm.
gonna make the foolish mistakes. But sometimes, like they say, experience, sometimes you have to go through experience in order to get that wisdom,
Mhm.
to get that. Verse
Yep.
20. Not a single person on earth is always good and never sin. Verse 20 in King James
Yeah.
Version, for there is not a just man upon earth that do it
Hmm.
good and sin it not. We all know. 21.
Definitely. Definitely.
Yeah. Oh man, we tore up. We so tore and just we are so tore up. I keep on saying this. The last two, bro, we are tore up as human. We are so tore up. It's crazy. 21. Don't eavesdrop on others. You may hear your servant curse you.
How many
For he
times we done listened to
Mhm.
people and heard something we shouldn't have heard? I think we all have.
but look, watch this. But watch this. Like you looking, right? It
Uh,
goes to show you that people always looking. Look at 22. It says, for you know how often yourself have cursed others.
Hmm.
So
You
what
know
they
that
say?
goes to that makes me think about my uncle. He's gone now. Rest in peace, Uncle June. He told me when I was young. I mean, I had to be about 22, no, maybe about 25, 26 years old. He said, Yolanda, baby, always remember the trees got eyes and the sidewalks got ears.
Yes, yeah.
And I
Mm-hmm.
was like, huh? What? This man crazy. What is this man talking about?
Yeah,
It took,
yeah.
I didn't catch on to what he meant until I was like about 28, 29 years old. And it hit me. And I said, well, I be, that's what he means. Somebody always watching, somebody always
Yeah,
listening.
yeah, always, always.
Yep.
And let me go a little bit deeper. Spirits always watching. The enemy always got
Yep.
agents watching. Always watching. Waiting on your next move. Always, always. Never,
Man,
not,
that's something.
never. Yeah, always watching. So always, the enemy guy ain't. Everybody's watching. So nothing you do goes unseen.
Ain't nothing
And
a secret. Ain't that something?
nothing, nothing. Verse 23. I have always tried my best to let wisdom guide my thoughts and actions. I said to myself, I am determined to be wise, but it didn't work.
Hmm.
24. Wisdom is always distant and difficult to find. 25. I search everywhere, determined to find wisdom and to understand the reason for things. I was determined to prove to myself that wickedness is stupid and that foolishness is madness.
Hmm.
26. I discovered that a seductive woman is a trap, more bitter than death. Her passion is a snare, and her soft hands are chains. Those who are pleasing to God will escape her, but sinners will be caught in her snare. Deception,
Mm.
deception. 27. This is my conclusion, says the teacher. I discovered this after looking at the matter from every possible angle. Though I have searched repeatedly, I have found not what I was looking for. Only one out of 1,000 men is virtuous. Ah, y'all hear that?
Hmm.
But but not but not one woman, right? But but not one woman. Meaning like, hey, it's more women that are virtuous than a man is. That's what he's saying. It's more virtuous women than a virtuous man. 29.
That's crazy. I was just talking about this with one of my girlfriends.
Yeah,
We were
and
just
and
talking about this.
and with virtuous, that could be something you go into. And when I was studying that, I was like, bro, do y'all understand? I'm like, man, do y'all understand what this means? I'm like, man, but a lot of women have that virtuousness inside of them already. It's all y'all are built that way. When I looked at it, studied it, and saw the meaning of it, I say most women are built that way. They are built, it's in your DNA to be built this way. That's why it says only one out of 1,000 men is virtuous, but not one woman. Yeah, it's because all of y'all
But
really have.
but you know what's crazy? The world thinks that virtuous is just for women. That's another
Oh yeah.
that's what we were
Oh
actually talking about.
yeah.
But
Yeah.
it's not gendered. Like it's not a
Mm-hmm.
particular gender. Like you can have a virtuous woman or a virtuous man.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Because I mean there are also unhealed, dishonest, misaligned people on both sides. So
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
it's crazy. It's crazy. We was
Mm-hmm.
just talking about this.
And just confirmation. That's all it is. He always bringing some confirmation. He gonna swing with it. So I'm glad you said that. I'm glad you said that. And me, we'll do a study on that. Verse 29. But I did not, but I did find this. God created people to be virtuous. It goes back to what you said, TT. That is not ginger bees, but they have each turned to follow their own downward path.
Yeah.
I'm gonna read it in King James. They say, "Lo, this is all only have I found that God had made man upright, but they have sought out many inventions for their own path." So that's 6 and 7, y'all. Maybe we gonna be on 8 and 9 on Monday. So
Mm-hmm.
that's it. That's being wise and being balanced. You got from this. That's what I received from you. Being wise, balanced, and going to God for wisdom. When you go to God for wisdom.
Yeah.
I gotta
Yeah.
use your time wisely because you're only here for a little while. So don't
Yeah,
waste your time.
yeah. Don't waste your time because you're gonna look at you and be like, "What you did?"
Yeah.
Oh, well, this what you did. I know what you did, but here you go. And you pretty much wasted. You were like, hey, you could have did all these other things, but you did. And so, yeah, balance for us, balance for us, and asking. Not asking is being prideful. You don't want nobody to tell you nothing. Not taking criticism from a wise person. When you get older, one thing that I learned as getting older or whatnot, being able to take criticism from a wise person, not a fool, from a wise person. It literally helps you. Maybe not at the moment, but like later on, it can help.
But a lot of us said we could take criticism, but when we do get criticized, we don't like it. We can't take it.
Oh yeah, oh nah, yeah, yeah. It's we don't like it. It
Right.
don't because it don't feel good. Get about your feelings. Get about your feelings. All
Yes.
this boo hooing and get about your feelings. You know, that's what it is. You get up out of that too. But yeah, family. So that's it for the night. If if anyone has something to say, y'all could say it. But if not, I'll just lead us out in prayer and we be on for Monday. Luke chapter 8 and 9. He been moving. Chapter 8, let me say 8, 9, 10, 11. Yeah, we be finished next week. We should be finished the book of Ecclesiastes. It go fast when you read it like that, and it's good dialogue. So all right, nobody have nothing to say. I'll leave it out in prayer. Our Father, which art in heaven, we thank you for this evening again. We thank you for letting us read your word, digest your word, and dissect it and understand what you're saying and apply it to our lives and how we see it so we can understand what you're saying, your viewpoint. I ask that you continue to bless us throughout this week, our family, our friends, our businesses,
Yes,
our jobs, and everything that we have going on, and continue to have a hedge of protection around all of us and all matters that is of
yes,
concern
yes,
for our
yes.
lives. For your word of your praise in Jesus' name. Amen.
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 All right, y'all. All right, cool being about. See y'all on Monday. We'll be back on Monday, yo.
All right, y'all have a blessed night and a blessed rest of the week.
All right, now,
Yeah,
love y'all.
you
I'll let
too.
y'all on Monday.